Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss about the following topics. What are the ways by which a credit is available? Or we can say that what are the types of payment settlement are there under LC? What is meant by credit available by owner? We are going to discuss in detail it. What is credit available by negotiation is mean? We're going to discuss all these 3 points in details. Let's start. Availability of a credit. Availability of a credit is further divided into two parts. First is credit available with. The second one is credit available by. Right? Credit available with. It means that the credit is available with which bank. Here the credit is available with a specific bank. Now under in credit available by means here the credit is available by two ways. Either it can be available by honor, either it can be available by negotiation. The honor portion is further divided into three parts. The credit can be available by on a side basis. Either the credit can be available by acceptance or it can be available by deferred payment. So side acceptance and deferred payment are comes under honor payment, whereas the negotiation is the another payment method by which a credit can be available by, right? Now we will discuss all these aspects in details. Let's start. First we are going to discuss about the credit available with. As the name suggests, credit available with means the bank with which the credit is available. The first one is restricted credit, means here the credit is available with a specific bank, or we can say that here the credit is available to a named bank. That named bank will be called as nominated bank. It can be a confirming bank, it can be a nominated bank, it can be a issuing bank. When the credit is available to a specific bank, then it will be a restricted bank. When a credit is available to any bank, or we can say when the credit is available freely, it means that it's a unrestricted credit, right? We will discuss both in detail. First we are going to discuss restricted LC. As the name suggests, restricted LC means here the LC is restricted with a bank, that is called nominated bank. Means the credit is available with nominated bank here. So under restricted LC, the credit is available with nominated bank. That nominated bank can be any bank, which will be specified under LC, right? Whenever the LC is issued by a issuing bank, it will put in a clause stating that LC is restricted to a specific or to a named or to a particular bank. Whenever the exporter need to negotiate those documents, then it has to submit those documents to that particular bank only under restricted LC, right? Now we're going to discuss unrestricted or freely available LC. As the name suggests, unrestricted, or we can say or freely available, means here the credit is freely available with any bank. Means the credit is not restricted here. So the exporter can submit document with any bank for following purposes: for negotiation, discounting and purchasing. All these three words means same only, but the wording will be different. So whenever the exporter need to negotiate those documents, it can submit the document to any bank, because here the credit is available freely. But in case of restricted, it has to submit those documents to a particular bank only, which is with which the credit is available, means that nominated bank, right? Now we will discuss the another aspect, the credit available by. The credit available by means the payment method by which a LC is available. So it will be divided into two parts. First is honor, then the second one is negotiation. The honor is further classified into three parts: site, acceptance and deferred payment, as we have studied earlier. So first we are going to discuss on a negotiation aspect, as it is the only one. So first we will clear this. After that, we're gonna study about all these three. So let's start about negotiation. Negotiation. What does negotiation means? Means negotiation can also be called purchase. It can also be called as discounting. So negotiation is what? Is discounting of the document submitted by a exporter. Means whenever the exporter needs to get the document negotiated or to get the document discounted, it need to submit it to that nominated bank with which the credit is available. If it is restricted, if it is freely available, then it can submit document to any bank. So under that LC, as the LC is available by negotiation, it means that here the discounting is will be done by that nominated bank, right? So what will happen under negotiation is, here the draft is purchased. Draft here stands for the documented which is submitted by the exporter, means the shipping document submitted by the exporter. Here draft is means that, right? So here the documented submitted by the exporter is purchased by the nominated bank. What does purchased means? Purchase means the advance payment made to the beneficiary or agree to make the payment to the beneficiary on or before the due date to which the reimbursement is due to the nominated bank. Means whenever the reimbursement is due to the nominated bank, it can make the advance payment prior to that, or it can make the payment before to that, or on that specific date also to which the reimbursement is due to nominated bank. So negotiation is what? It's purchasing the document submitted by the exporter. So this is called negotiation, or we, in simple word, we can say giving value for the document. Mean whenever the exporter submit document, in return that the nominated bank will purchase that document and will make the advance payment or agree to make the advance payment to the beneficiary. That is called negotiation, right? Negotiation is also further divided into two parts: the site negotiation and the usance negotiation. Now we will discuss both aspects in detail as well. The site negotiation, as the name suggests, site means the payment will be made on an immediate basis. So whenever the nominated bank receives the document and it found that it is compliant presentation, it will negotiate those documents. So it will forward those documents to the issuing bank, and issuing bank will scrutinize those documents. If the issuing bank found those documents as a compliant presentation, then the issuing bank will have to make the payment to the nominated bank on a site basis as per the instruction given by the nominated bank. If after that, the usance negotiation is what? Usance negotiation is that negotiation where the negotiation is not made on an immediate basis. It can be made between the document received by the nominated bank or between the payment it has received from the issuing bank. So it can make the negotiation between receiving the document and receiving the payment from the issuing bank. So it can negotiate in between that time period. That is called usance negotiation, right? In case of usance negotiation, right? In case of usance negotiation, if the nominated bank and reimbursing bank are different, there were two scenarios. If it is a usance negotiation and the nominated bank and the reimbursing bank are same, and the another aspect is nominated and reimbursing bank are different. So we will discuss in both aspects. If nominated bank and reimbursing bank are same and it is a usance negotiation, then nominated bank can debit the account of issuing bank on maturity date, because here the nominated bank is also playing the role of reimbursing bank. That reimbursing bank is that bank with which the issuing bank has an account in foreign currency. So means here that a nominated bank can debit the account of issuing bank on maturity date. Why it is debiting the account on maturity date? Because it is a usance negotiation. The negotiation will not be made on a site basis or on an immediate basis. So here on maturity date, the nominated bank will debit the account of issuing bank if the nominated bank and reimbursing bank are same. But if there is a scenario where the nominated bank and reimbursing bank are different, Then the nominated bank has to lodge a claim with the reimbursing bank. Then reimbursing bank will reimburse the nominated bank on maturity date because it is a usance negotiation. Right? Now what are the key points which we need to remember under negotiation? Draft must be drawn on a bank other than nominated bank to purchase. You must know under negotiation there is no requirement of a draft. Means that here under negotiation when the credit is available by negotiation, draft is not necessary. But if draft is presented, then it must be drawn on some another bank rather than drawn on nominated bank. Then only the nominated bank can purchase this. Right? Draft is not necessary under negotiation, but if it is presented, that then it must be drawn on a bank other than nominated bank. Then only the nominated bank can negotiate the document. Second point, the advance may or may not be made immediately. Under when the credit is available by negotiation, the nominated bank can make the advance payment or can not make the advance payment to the beneficiary. So it can act on its negotiation or it cannot act on nomination. So here the nominated bank is not liable to make the payment, but it can make the payment or it cannot make the payment. So you need to remember that point also. If the nominated bank negotiate the document, then it will be on a without recourse basis. Without recourse basis can also be called as non-recourse basis. Means if the nominated bank negotiate the document, then it will be on a non-recourse basis until and unless it is specifically mentioned under the credit or there is an agreement happened between the nominated bank and the beneficiary that this negotiation will be on a recourse basis. If there is no such agreement happened between nominated bank and a beneficiary, then such negotiation will be on a non-recourse basis. Right? Now we will discuss the another aspect of credit available by, that is honor. Under honor we will first discuss about deferred payment. What is deferred payment? Before understanding these 4 points, we will discuss on a separate sheet. Deferred payment. Deferred payment. Here deferred payment, there is no need of presentation of draft or BOE is necessary. Means when the credit is available by deferred payment, there is no requirement of draft need to be presented. Right? It can be presented, but it is not necessary to present the draft. Right? Second point, here the payment will not be made on an immediate basis. Means here the payment will not be made on a side basis. It will be made on a future date or it will be made on a maturity date. That maturity date will be determined basis on the terms and condition of the credit. Right? It can be 30 days from the shipment date. It can be 90 days from a invoice date, any date. Or it can be 60 days from receiving document or issuing bank account. It can be any date. So that date will be determined basis the terms and condition of a LC. Right? So there are 3 points. Draft is need not to be presented as it is not a necessary document under deferred payment. Payment will be made on a future date. That future date will be determined basis on the terms and condition of the credit. Right? Now we will discuss another aspect of deferred payment. Under deferred payment, then whenever the nominated bank receive a compliant presentation and it need to honor that compliant presentation, then the nominated bank has to incur a deferred payment undertaking. Means when the compliant presentation is made at a nominated bank counter and it has to honor that presentation, then it has to incur a deferred payment undertaking. When the nominated bank incurred a deferred payment undertaking, it undertakes to make the payment to the beneficiary at a maturity date. It is not necessary that it will definitely make the payment to the beneficiary at a maturity date, but it can make the payment. Right? So once the nominated bank has incurred its deferred payment undertaking, then it undertakes to make the payment to the beneficiary at maturity date. But there might be a possibility that it does not make the payment on a maturity date. So issuing bank has to make the payment. Right? If the beneficiary needs the payment on an immediate basis or needs the payment before the maturity date, then the beneficiary will request the nominated bank. Then the nominated bank can prepay, means it prepays that payment to the beneficiary in advance for which the undertaking is already made. Means if the beneficiary needs payment on an immediate basis, then the nominated bank can prepay its own deferred payment undertaking which is already incurred, right? So after incurring that deferred payment undertaking and honoring that bill, then the nominated bank must forward those documents to the issuing bank. If there is a confirming bank also under that credit, then the document must be forwarded to confirming bank so that on maturity date it will receive the reimbursement from that bank, right? If it is a confirming bank, then it has to be reimbursed from confirming bank. If there is no confirming bank under credit, then the reimbursement made will be via issuing bank to the nominated bank. Hope you will clear. Hope all the 4 points were clear, right? Now we will discuss the key points which we need to remember. As we know that presentation of draft is presentation of draft is not necessary. It is subjective. Means that a draft which is need not to be presented here, but it can be presented as an additional document. But it is not necessary because deferred payment does not attract any sort of draft. Here the nominated bank can prepay if beneficiary requested the same. If the beneficiary requested the payment in advance, then the nominated bank can prepay its own deferred payment undertaking. Because under deferred payment, the payment will be on a maturity date, but if beneficiary request, the nominated bank can prepay it. Right? Now we will discuss another aspect of honor that will be called as acceptance. Acceptance and deferred payment. These were two similar aspects under honor, but there is a single difference is that under deferred payment undertaking, there is no requirement of draft, but under acceptance, draft is an essential document which will be further accepted. So here draft is accepted when the presentation is made at the credit available bank counters. So here also the payment will be made on a future date. That date will be determined based on the terms and condition of that credit. Means here also the payment will be made on a maturity date. But for that draft is need to be presented which will be accepted. So this is the only difference between deferred payment and the acceptance payment. If the credit is available by acceptance, then in case if nominated bank and reimbursing bank are same, then the nominated bank can debit the account of issuing bank on maturity date. Why it will debit the account of issuing bank on maturity date? Because the credit is available by acceptance and the nominated bank is also the reimbursing bank in that credit. But if the nominated bank and reimbursing bank are different under that credit, then the nominated bank has to lodge the claim with the reimbursing bank. After that, the reimbursing bank will reimburse the nominated bank on the due date because the credit is available by acceptance. Right? What are the key points which we need to remember under acceptance payment? Presentation of draft of BOA is mandatory. As we know that under acceptance, draft is need to be presented as it is an essential document. Right? Nominated bank is authorized to accept a draft drawn on it by beneficiary. Nominated bank, if the presentation is made at a nominated bank counter or means the credit is available with nominated bank by acceptance, then that bank is authorized to accept that draft drawn it by the beneficiary. Under that nominated bank, please remember that point. If the credit is available with nominated bank and the credit is available by acceptance method, then if that draft specific need to be drawn on nominated bank, then only the nominated bank can accept that draft. if the credit is available by acceptance method, then the draft must be drawn on nominated bank. Then only the nominated bank will accept that draft. Else it can't accept that draft because it is not already drawn on that. Now how can the nominated bank will accept that draft when it is not drawn on it and the payment is available by acceptance method, right? If the credit is available by acceptance, then the nominated bank does not prepay or purchase draft on another bank. It prepay or purchase draft on its own acceptance. As I mentioned in second point, the draft must be drawn on nominated bank if credit is available by acceptance. So the nominated bank will does not prepay or does not purchase or does not negotiate draft which is drawn on another bank if the credit is available by acceptance. It can prepay or purchase the draft if it is drawn on it and the credit is available by acceptance. Means when the credit is available by acceptance, then it can prepay or purchases that, but it must be drawn on nominated bank only. Then only the nominated bank can prepay or purchase its own acceptance, because if the draft is not presented or not drawn on the nominated bank, then it can't accept. When it can't accept, then it can't prepay or purchases that draft drawn on some another bank, right? If draft is drawn on some other bank, then in that case it neither accept that draft nor it can prepay or purchase that draft. So if the draft is drawn on nominated bank, then it can accept that draft. Also it can prepay that draft, but it should be drawn on a nominated bank. So you need to keep that point in your mind. Honor of a credit available by acceptance is without recourse to the beneficiary. Whenever the credit is available by acceptance, then such honor will be always on a non-recourse basis to the beneficiary until and unless there is agreement between nominated bank and the beneficiary is there, right? Cite. It is the one of the most important type of payment method on the honor. Here the payment to the beneficiary is made on an immediate basis, or we can say that whenever the document is received at bank counter, then the payment is immediately made to the beneficiary. So if the document is presented at issuing bank counter, if it is presented at confirming bank counter, if it is presented at nominated bank counter, and those bank has determined that the presentation made is compliant presentation, then the payment to the beneficiary will be made on an immediate basis. One of the most important aspect of cite is there is no need of draft is to be presented. So under this cite payment, draft is not necessary, but it can be presented, right? If it is specifically requested to present a draft, then it can be presented, else it is not required under cite. What happened if nominated bank and confirming bank are different? Here there is no reimbursing bank, here confirming bank. If nominated bank and confirming bank are different, please understand this point carefully. If nominated and confirming bank are different, then nominated bank has no obligation to pay at cite for a compliant presentation, and it may forward those documents to IB or CB for payment. Why? As nominated bank, as we all know that the nominated bank can honor or can negotiate the document, but it is not necessary that it will definitely honor or negotiate that. It can, and also it has no obligation to honor or negotiate that, but it can, right? So if nominated bank is not also a confirming bank, then it has no obligation to pay at cite if the presentation made at its counter is compliant presentation. If the presentation is made at nominated bank counter and the presentation is found as a compliant presentation, then or still also the nominated bank is not liable to make the payment to the beneficiary in advance. It can make the payment, but it is not liable, because here the confirming bank is, the nominated bank is not a confirming bank. So nominated bank what will do here? It will forward those documents to the issuing bank. If there is a confirming bank also, and the confirming bank is different from nominated bank, then the nominated bank will forward those documents to confirming bank for payment. So once it receives payment from the confirming bank, it will credit that payment to the beneficiary, right? So nominated bank has no liability to pay at a site if it is not a confirming bank. It can make the payment, but it is not necessary, right? Now the second aspect is if nominated and confirming bank are same. As we know that confirming bank liability is created since it has added its own confirmation. So when confirmation is added and the nominated bank is also playing the role of confirming bank, then whenever the presentation is made at the nominated bank counter, then it has to pay the beneficiary at site if presentation is compliant. If it is discrepant, then it is not necessary. It can make the payment even it is discrepant, but it is not necessary. So if nominated bank, confirming bank are same, then it has to make the payment to the beneficiary at a site if it is compliant presentation, right? In case site, if it is the credit is available by site and the nominated and reimbursing bank are same, then nominated bank will debit the account of issuing bank on maturity date. This maturity date is what? It is the payment date. Payment date is when, means immediate payment date. So whenever the nominated bank has received the document and it is found to be a compliant presentation, so either it can make the payment to the beneficiary or it can forward those documents to the issuing bank. After issuing bank found document as compliant presentation, it will debit the account of issuing bank and will make the payment to the beneficiary on site basis if nominated bank and reimbursing bank are same. If both the bank, nominated and reimbursing bank, are different, then nominated bank will send those documents to the issuing bank and will file a claim with the reimbursing bank. Reimbursing bank will reimburse the nominated bank and will make the payment as per the instruction, that is it will make the payment on site basis, right? What are the key points which we need to remember under site payment? A confirming bank must honor, and such honor is without recourse basis. As we know, confirming bank is also adding its liability upon the liability of a issuing bank, that confirming bank once adds its confirmation, then whatever the honor made by the confirming bank, then such honor will be on a non-recourse basis, right? A nominated bank may or may not honor. As we know that it can honor or it can not honor. If any honor is made by a nominated bank, then such honor will be on a without recourse basis if there is no agreement between nominated bank and beneficiary is presented. An issuing bank must honor by effecting payment, and such honor is without recourse basis. Whatever, if the issuing bank honor in order to honor, an issuing bank must have to effect the payment, and such honor is called as without recourse honor, right? So issuing bank can only honor, it can't negotiate. So you need to remember that point also. Issuing bank can only honor, it can't negotiate. A credit can be available with the issuing bank, but it can't be available by a negotiation with issuing bank, right? So issuing bank will always honor, and how it will honor? It will honor by making a payment, and it will always honor without recourse basis, right? That's all about my video. Hope you like the video. Thanks for watching.